There once was a big yellow troll who had a massive bankroll. He then grabbed the ball and no penalty was called and just chucked the ball into the goal. Come on, ref. What are you, blind? Hey guys, James here again with another game review, and this time I'm talking about Mario Strikers Battle League, the newest entry in the Mario Soccer franchise. Here, you play as some of your favorite Mario characters as you duke it out in quick-paced and hectic 4-on-4 soccer matches. Now, I've always been a big Mario sports fan, having played a good amount of Mario Tennis and golf growing up. However, Mario Strikers is arguably my favorite of the Mario sports franchises. I've always loved the high-paced action, and something else that I loved about the series was how tight the controls and gameplay always felt. That's why when Battle League was announced, I was pretty hyped. However, after finally getting my hands on it, while I do think the core gameplay is solid and feels pretty great to play, I can't help but be a little bit disappointed, if I'm being completely honest. So, without further ado, let's dive into this review. In Battle League, you play 4v4 matches, not including the goalies. You can select a team captain as well as 3 other supporting team members, all from the main cast. I do have to mention here that I feel like the overall cast is pretty disappointing. I'm sure they want to release DLC or something in the future, but seriously? 10 characters? That's it? In Mario Strikers for the Wii, you had 12 main characters you could choose as your captain, with 9 sidekick characters who would fill out the rest of your team. As far as I'm aware, there are no unlockable characters either, so overall, Battle League's roster just seems like a pretty big step backwards. What I did love was the overall presentation in the game though. The intros and goal celebrations are well done, the animations as a whole are great, and the game has all the great Mario personality you'd come to expect. As for the soccer itself, the game is very arcadey, focusing more on high-paced action and even some chaos if items are enabled. You have an array of moves at your arsenal, but for those coming from FIFA or other soccer simulation games, it may feel a little bit limiting. One of the unique things about Strikers though is the ability to charge your shots, and the more you do, the more power gets put behind it. Aiming your shot is easy too, as you can easily target areas of the net with high accuracy. Here, they also introduced the Hyper Strike, which is a special shot which requires you to grab an orb which spawns into the field, then you have to fully charge a shot, and then, finally, you do this quick timing minigame. You then get to see a pretty sweet animation, and your character unleashes the strike. Depending on how well the shot was timed, the defender may need to mash the A button in order to block it from entering the goal. But, if they can't, the Hyper Strike is worth 2 points, which can easily be a big swing. Soccer in Strikers is far more violent than in real life too, with characters able to barrel through each other for tackles. Now you can even charge your tackles to make longer distance stops, and there's even this interesting mechanic called the team tackle, where you can tackle your own teammate to give them a boost. It's a cool idea, but to be honest, while I have actually had some success using it, I'm not sure how often you're going to be able to really pull it off in a real game. Be careful with your tackles though. If your opponent manages to dodge it, then you could be put in a really bad position. A perfectly timed dodge results in the player getting a speed boost as well, and that boost can make a huge difference. Timing in general is a huge part of Battle League, as you can perfectly time shots, tackles, passes, one-timers, and dodges in order to maximize the velocity of the ball or your character. The game also feels far more punishing now, in a good way. They raised the skill ceiling with the addition of a couple of mechanics, and as a whole, I do think the game feels far more technical and purposeful than before. First, they changed the sprint mechanic. When you don't have the ball, your character will start speeding up, but will become harder to control. When you do have the ball, your character will propel the ball forward a bit in order to try and make some space. Recovering from failed tackles and hits feels pretty long now too, although I'm not sure if it's longer than in past games or not. Personally though, while the core gameplay feels pretty great, I think the biggest issue with the game is related to the AI and how it affects the single player experience. I just feel like maybe the game was built with multiplayer in mind, and so when playing solo against higher level AI opponents, it can be pretty frustrating trying to control your entire team, mainly because the AI teammates tend to be pretty dumb. For one thing, the AI teammates don't really know how to defend, not really bothering to contest shots or passes, and pretty much never attempting to make a tackle if you aren't controlling them. Honestly, sometimes it can feel pretty helpless trying to defend against some of the stuff harder AI can pull off, because it can feel like it requires you to make perfect switches and preemptively make tackles or plays on the ball. The issue is that they're a coordinated team, and if I want to win, I have to be Bugs Bunny playing every single position. It also doesn't help that switching can feel a bit off, where sometimes it doesn't always switch to the guy you want or to the guy closest to the ball, and since there's no easy way of selecting exactly who you want to switch to, you can often get caught out of position. The goalie can feel inconsistent too. Sometimes they're superhumans capable of blocking crazy one-timers, but other times they feel like they have no idea what they're doing and can't stop basic slow shots. I found that once you're in front of the goalie, it's almost guaranteed to be a goal, and in a way, this can make the other moves you can pull off seem far less effective than just running down the center. Then of course, it wouldn't be a Mario sports game without some nifty items. Here, they bring back a couple of old favorites including shells, bananas, mushrooms, bomb-bombs, and the star. I personally don't love having items on, but they can actually be a lot of fun, and here are simplified a lot more. My main issue with them is just how they can make things so chaotic that it can be easy to lose the ball. And honestly, that's most of the core gameplay in a nutshell. When you have the ball and are attacking, the game still feels pretty great, but I do have issues with the AI. I know that maybe it's just a matter of me improving at the game and playing better, but I actually found myself raging quite a bit, which isn't easy for a game to make me do. Outside of that, I do have a couple of areas I want to discuss and complain a bit about. One of the big additions to the game is the gear system. Essentially, here, you can equip different gear on characters in order to change their stats around. In general, most gear will have you sacrifice one stat for another so that they all still feel balanced. I think gear is really cool and provides some nice variation to the game, but I do wish that there was more gear in general, including maybe some unique gear for each character. I also wish you could save multiple loadouts so that you can have different versions of characters you can easily select based on your needs. Outside of your normal matches, you're provided with a cup battle mode, which puts you through a series of double elimination tournaments. These are the main single player offerings and can actually be quite fun, but I do wish that they had done more in terms of adding variation to the cups, such as having different rule sets and having some more unlockables to play for outside of just gaining coins for gear. They had similar cups in the last game, so it would have been nice to see an evolution here, maybe with a single player season mode or something similar. Instead, here they have the Strikers Cup, which is an online season mode. In this mode, you join a club which can have up to 20 members, and you join forces to play against other clubs for prizes and rank. If you're a club owner, you can do some cool stuff too, such as customizing your kit and stadium, but I have to wonder, why wasn't this stuff available in single player mode? You literally have all of it set up, you just need to make it so that other teams simulate matches, and you're pretty much done. I can't speak too much on how the Strikers Club is though, as at the time of this review, it was still in the off season. Still, I think it's a cool idea, and nice to see Nintendo embracing the online experience. I did play a couple of online matches though, and I do actually think it was a pretty solid experience. A bit of lag here and there, but overall, I thought it felt better than other Switch games I've played online. But hello? I know the idea is supposed to be that every person has their own striker, but when playing solo, why exactly can't I pick from the rest of the roster? Finally, I have a couple of other minor complaints that I wanted to bring up. First, why are all these kits so ugly? Seriously, who designed these? To be honest, I'm not even really sure what it is about them, but the default kits just look pretty dull. Next, I'm a bit shocked that none of the stages seem to have any sort of hazards. I don't even like playing with hazards on, but to not have any on any of the maps just seems like a weird choice to me. There's also just a general lack of alternate game modes, challenges, or mini-games, which I feel like every Mario sports game should really try to have. And finally, I just wish that there was more to the stats screen. I want more in-depth stats for the game and across my whole career. I just think it'd be helpful in figuring out who I'm actually good with. Overall, I do think the core gameplay for Mario Strikers Battle League is very solid, although maybe designed with multiplayer in mind. The series return is action-packed and can really get you hype, but I definitely have some issues with it. I really just wish that they had done more, as Battle League and, honestly, all of this generation's Mario sports games seem a bit bare bones. They all seem to nail down the basic gameplay and feel, but then are lacking in so many other areas, and as a result, rather than feeling like evolutions in each series, they feel like games they had to get out because they needed some Mario sports games for the Switch. I personally think $40 or less might have been a better price for the game, but it's Nintendo and I wouldn't expect many sales, so if you really are interested, you might need to go for the full $60 price. I'm giving Mario Strikers a light 3 out of 4. It's good, but honestly, could have been a lot better in my opinion. But hey, that's just me. Let me know down below what you think. Have you tried Mario Strikers Battle League and what'd you think of it? I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences. And of course, if you made it this far, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do consider hitting that like and subscribe button to help out the channel. And as usual, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace.